Good afternoon and welcome to the meeting of the Sugarland Development Corporation and the governing body of the city of Sugarland. Turn on your mics, please. Today is Tuesday, November 2nd, 2021. Item number 2, calling the meeting to order. Item number 3, public comment. Do we have any comments from the public? None. Okay. Item number 4, minutes.
Move to approve.
Second.
Don't need to read it.
She has
first.
to read it for a second.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Consideration of an action on the minutes of the September 7th, 2021 Sugarland Development Corporation and the October 5th, 2021 joint Sugarland Development Corporation and Sugarland 4B meetings. Do you have a motion to approve? Motion by Jacobson, second.
Second.
Dr. Molly, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? No, motion carries. Okay. Item number 5, budget. Consideration of an action on Sugarland Development Corporation Resolution number 2021-1103. Resolution authorizing the issuance of Sugarland Development Corporation sales tax revenue refunding bonds, Series 2021, authorizing the refunding of certain outstanding obligations and the execution and delivery of an escrow agreement and the subscription for and purchase of certain escrow securities and certain other procedures and provisions relating thereto. Jennifer Brown, Director of Finance.
Thank you. So that is a mouthful for, we were in the bond market today and we have a refunding issue that, and then, okay. All right, so little overview of the SLDC. This corporation exists to support our economic growth. We look at encouraging growth in our businesses and looking for opportunities for employers to relocate or locate in Sugarland. Overall goal is to grow our commercial property tax values through the benefits to the residents are through the reinvestment of these restricted revenues, which is our quarter-cent sales tax for economic development, through our quality of life amenities. And for this corporation, those are approved by the voters. And so the amenities that we funded with these bonds, which was Smart Financial Center, were approved by the voters in 2008 through our destination venue election that we held. And so this helps us to maintain our low tax rate that we hold as a city. So, all right. Try clicking again. Okay. As many times as I've done this, still have issues. All right. So like I said, we provided key funding for the destination venues. And once the bonds reach a certain point in their maturity, we have a call provision in the maturity structure. And that gives us an opportunity to refinance that debt. Similar to refinancing your home, it allows us to basically pay off the old bonds that are at a higher rate and issue new bonds at a lower rate. And the whole objective of that is savings in our interest costs. So the bonds have a call provision. This issue that we're refunding right now, the call date is February 15th of 2022. And that reason that it's important is because once these bonds close, we will be within 90 days of that date. The federal government got rid of our ability to do advanced refundings in December of 2017. So right now, we're only able to do current refundings with tax exempt debt. So we're no longer able to do advanced refundings. So within 90 days of the call date, it's considered a current refunding. And so we'll be settling this issue at the end of November. So we'll be like 80 days away. And so we issue the new bonds at lower interest rates and pay off the old bonds that are at a higher interest rate. And this will be for the maturities from 2023 to 38. So 16 years, yeah, 2023 to 2038. And then the result is we just have annual debt service savings. So we structure the refunding to maintain the existing maturity structure. We don't move around maturities, sometimes we do accelerate the maturity schedule if there's a lot of savings up front. But the overall goal was to just have that savings over the same maturity structure. The financial management policy statements of the city provide that we will consider looking at a refunding as long as the net present value savings is at over 3% or at least 3% of the value of the refunded maturities. So earlier this year, I think it was early September, our financial advisor, Joe Morrow with Hilltop Securities, brought to me a couple of opportunities looking at refundings, and this was the first one that the call date was soon, and so we recommended that we go ahead and move forward on this. After we got a little closer to where we are now, and the market conditions kind of changed a little bit, there was some uncertainty in the market, then we recommended that we move forward with a negotiated sale for this issue. A lot of times we would do a competitive sale, but we had seen, or they had seen some sales where they had 10 bidders signed up and like 1 or 2 ended up bidding on it. And you have to have at least 3 bids for IRS regulations for arbitrage guidelines. And so we didn't want to run into that situation. And so we recommended that we do a negotiated sale for this issue with BOK Financial. And then the other gentleman is Adam Midkiff. He is with Andrews Kirk as our bond counsel. So he brought the big packet of documents that will go along with this sale. As part of the process, we had ratings calls with Moody's and Standard & Poor's. They both affirmed the corporation's ratings of A+ and A1 accordingly. Their rating results or their ratings releases are in the packet that is there at your table if you'd like to read them. I have included those for your reference. And so those calls occurred on October 11th and 12th. We then met with the Finance Audit Committee, City Council on October 15th, or rather Jennifer May did in my absence because I was on vacation. And so she reviewed that with them, and the official statement was posted last week. And so then today we went out into the market to price the bonds. And, as I said, the call date is February of 2022, and it is 16 years worth of maturity. We're refunding $5.35 million in par value with an average coupon of 4.49%. The sale typically is awarded on a lowest true interest cost basis. We did a negotiated sale here, so the true interest cost, and I neglected to fill in that amount because I did not leave myself a blank, but I can tell you it is 2.449%. So we went from about 4.5% to 2.45%. Our net present value savings is 11.369% of the refunded principal. And again, our minimum threshold is 3%. This has come down a little bit from what we reviewed with the Finance Audit Committee. The market shifted up about 25 or 30 basis points. So we lost a little bit of the savings, but the annual savings is around $47,710 per year, or a grand total of $763,356 over the 16-year period. And so to get the 11.369, we take a net present value of that 763,000, comes down to 608,000, and then divide that by the 5.35 million. So this evening, the request is for you as the SLDC to approve Resolution 2021-11-03. And then City Council has to also authorize the issuance of any bonds for the corporation. So there is resolution number 21-32 on the City Council agenda later this evening. And our recommendation is to approve the resolution authorizing the issuance of the bonds. And I would be happy to answer any questions.
Jennifer, during those 80 days between the delivery date and the call date, we have overlapping. We're accountable for the interest on both of those series, right?
Yes.
So do we just pay it out of the debt service fund, or do we roll that period of interest into the new issue?
It's all calculated in as part of the refunding verification. So we will owe the interest on the non-refunded maturities, which is the 2022. And there's a schedule. I don't know if that schedule's actually in here or not, but it's like $4,600 in interest that we owe on that maturity. All the other maturities get lumped into this issue then. And so we will have an adjusted payment that is due in February because of the refunding. And then for this first payment on this one will be $40,666, which is a little less than we would have otherwise paid. So it is a blend of the two.
Thanks.
Any other questions from the board? Carol?
So when we do a negotiated sale as opposed to competitive bids, then how do we know that we've got a good price?
So Hilltop has a trading desk, and they ran some pre-sale numbers and actually came out like really, really close. I don't remember, it was 763 something. I don't remember the exact amount. It was super close to, actually, this came out a little better than the numbers that they ran yesterday. We were at 11.2% NPV savings on what they sent me yesterday. So this actually came out a little bit better. Do you want to add anything to
Yeah,
that,
I
Joe?
just, our role when we're doing a negotiated sale is to be sure that our rates are on the market. And one of the ways that we're able to ensure we do this, we also have a trading desk that our folks are committing the firm's capital on a daily basis, so they know where things should be trading, and they're able to look at the yields and make suggestions. And in this case, the trader at BOK used to work with us, so these guys, now know how each other work. It's just a matter then of getting the scale and seeing the spread that they do to a AAA and working off of that as to what other insured bonds are doing. You'll have an A1, A+ rating. We found that insurance, the premium for which provided additional savings that moves you up to a AA. So that's one of the things that we did to try and produce more savings. And that's the job of our desk, is to be sure that we are on the market.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, and they're prohibited from participating in the sale of any of our bonds because they're our financial advisor.
Okay.
So they're there to help us to make sure we get the best deal possible.
Great, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay.
Motion to approve?
Motion by Carol, second. Second by Kamali. All in favor, vote. Say aye. Motion passes unanimously. Item number 6, Director's Report. Elizabeth Huff, Director of Economic Development.
Good afternoon. There we go. All right. Oh, crud. There we go. All right. So really quick for you, just a few updates. Our Expand Your Business website page saw about a 50% uptick in visitation in September, which was likely due to our business attraction campaign, and paid search, which is nearly doubling the industry benchmark of the click-through rates for search ads. And these efforts show that we are successfully identifying key target audiences through our work with the Ernst & Young study and are driving them to the appropriate web pages. On October 27th, our office celebrated the opening of the first parklet at the Shops of William Trace, which most of y'all were at. And the event garnered a lot of media attention from the Chronicle, who ended up covering the event and published a great article. So if you haven't seen it, I believe it was an FYI packet, but we can get that back out to y'all as well. Additionally, the Parklet News performed extremely well on our social channels with over 374 impressions and an impressive click-through rate of about 20%, which is pretty high. So. And then lastly, I don't know if everyone, I know some people have had a chance to go and see the new mural, but the new mural that we partnered with the PCD and the Lone Star Garage is a perfect addition to the sweetest city in Texas. The All In for SLTX movement was able to provide partial funding for this interactive mural through the Request for Placemaking initiative. This mural is first in the country to combine elements of art and augmented reality for a one-of-a-kind photo memory for our citizens and visitors alike. So really exciting projects happening, and that's pretty much all my.
It's first in the country.
County.
County.
Oh, yes, sorry. County. So.
How do we, these are both great. I mean, these are fantastic. How do we know how many visitors we're getting to both these places? Do we have any way to know that?
We could probably try to look at some of our software like Placer AI specifically for some of these locations so we can drop. But we need to give them a little bit of time to get some traction going in
Right,
order
right.
to get enough sample set to be able to make projections as to how many visitors we're getting to be.
And
You
so
could just
if y'all
scan the
have
QR code.
questions, if y'all could email Cindy and then we'll get them answered. This is not supposed to be a like Q&A type thing. So, but good questions and we'll definitely get some answers for y'all. All right, and that's all I've got.
Okay, do you have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.